Yo, what's poppin' everyone? It's No Money's here with another video, and today we got a post commentary of some Dreadbloon gameplay, and nice 69 lives. But basically I played a lot of Dreadbloon games. I couldn't commentate, so I recorded the footage, and I was gonna commentate later. The thing is, I could have, I'm able to play a lot of games, so I'm not able to record a lot, because you need space, you need your own space to commentate, right? So as you can see, I just cashed on my BIA, so I have 20k, and I spent it on some Dragon's Breaths. 25 is the most dangerous round against Bloon adjustment, so you really want to make sure you over defend. I don't care if I have no farms, because I did have a BIA, so I'm in the top left corner, right? So that's where I got my 1000 eco from, and I make sure I over defend, because if you defend round 25 against Cobra, you're pretty much golden. And I boost, I don't know why I boosted there, but it's just to make sure. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I make sure to buy the Phoenixes on the bottom row so I know which ones I can sell. And then this ZMG was kind of a bad rush in hindsight because he sold all his Cobras. So I should have waited to see what he was going to do, but I preemptively sent him a ZMG because I thought he was going to allow me, and it looks like that was a good play. So I guess my instincts were correct. So I'm putting my Dragon Spreads all on first to clean up the ceramics, because I don't want the Dragon Threats to target the ZMG and then the ceramics slide by. So right now I can defend this because it's only one ZMG. So all you need is a couple of Phoenixes and good Maelstrom placement. So you want your Maelstroms to be in the corner, because that's the most effective for the Maelstrom. If you put it far away, the blades are not going to hit it as much. So as you can see, we defended a ZMG without a boost. And now it's pretty much GG's. I fast forward because there's really not much except to wait for him to die, because there's no point. That was the last game of the first Dread Arena, so I wanted to rematch him. So we got the same opponent, he got the same sound and everything. This time he opts to go for Heli Ice. I put my tax spot in the front to have more of an anti-stalls position. I don't know if you guys saw, but he boosted around 11, so here I'm going to Bloon boost, a rerush, mostly eco Bloons. I make him sell a farm, which is absolutely what we want. So we're up in farms, and our eco is crazy good, 630. And he has a lot of money invested in defense, and I have really no defense. I have a 0-2 wizard and attack. So here I just get up 2 attacks because I see that he mostly sent regulars at rainbows. So I could have Maelstrom there, but the Bloons already got past the first spend, and that's where the attack shooter was, so it wouldn't have been as effective. If I really needed to, I would have got a Maelstrom on the bottom. But now I just get a Republic because a Republic is more efficient than getting 2 plantations. So that's why I get it. I'm waiting for round 16 to send a rush because he has 2 Razor Rotors. Even though he has 2 Razor Rotors, I don't think I'm going to get that much buy, but I'm just going to mostly send Eco Bloons. And we do get a boost, which is perfect. I usually want to send a couple of Zebras at first to make it look like the rush is bigger than it actually is, and then just send a bunch of Whites after, mainly for Eco. And he Bloon boosts, and I see a bunch of camos, so I make sure to place the wizard before I boost so that the second wizard is affected by the boost. And as you can see, since he doesn't have that much farms, we are able to destroy that rush. It's really important that you place down the wizard before you boost so that the second wizard is affected by boost. So that's an easy defend. That's how you play aggro attack wiz. And we rematch again because, as I said, that was the last game of Dread, so there's no more Dread. And this guy was nice enough to rematch. So right now we're 2-0 against this guy called Stepstar. We're sending a bunch of space blacks and yellows to overwhelm him. It's going to force a double ice, but if he doesn't time that ice correctly, it could cause a lot of problems for him. But he does know how to use the double ice. But now we're going to send blacks just to get him chasing. Because I just want to be as aggro as possible. And our farms are tied with him, but our eco is significantly higher because Heli Ice... I think Heli Ice is only meta if you go against a player who's not really an expert in being aggressive. If they go a late game strategy, Heli Ice usually wins. And aggro would usually beat passive strategies if you play it correctly. So round 10, I'm still sending Space Whites. As you can see, he's struggling a lot. And round 11 is coming up. That's what I want to save money for. As you can see, the spike there in the middle of the path is hasn't been popped yet. So that means that we've been making the rounds fly by really fast, which in turn anti-stalls, which means that he gets less money. Even though we have a high eco and we want to stall, we don't want to stall for him because that would be more beneficial for him. So even though it's hurting me a little bit, it's hurting him a lot more. So it's round 13. I'm getting ready to send a rush on round 14 because I think it layers in with the AI really well. I say nice because he gets up a farm, so I know he's gonna have to sell it. So I'm gonna layer it. I make sure I have enough to get up his Dragon's Breath. And because he sent that rush, I wasn't able to send that much. So I make sure to send a lot of whites because it's gonna fly past his ice if his heli can't touch it, which forces a boost, which is perfect. That's what I wanted. So it says I usually never bloom boost a first rush, so you can always send a bloom boosted re-rush. That's my analysis behind that. So around 15, it's pretty much the same thing. Bloom boost, send a bunch of zebras, and then a lot more whites after that. Because if his heli's chasing, then the whites are gonna slide by the ice, and the heli isn't gonna be able to do much. And look at this, the whites are all the way at the end. And he boosts again. Oh my god, he's down to 2 lives. So he gets up another heli. He's gonna be fine for now. But look at our eco. We have 809, and we're really close in farms. But as you can see, the tack is still there. So that, or the road spike on the map. So that means, and the balloons haven't got past like around the first bend. So even though we anti-stall the early game, this eco is gonna help us mid game because it's hard to anti-stall the later game because the balloons get a lot stronger. Round 18, even though he has 2.5 rotors, I'm still gonna layer a rush because it's mostly eco for me at this point. See, I sent a couple of zebras, but mostly whites, just to get up my eco. And he still struggles a little bit, but this rush is mainly for him to get up defense. I'm not really trying to kill him here. And it looks like he died on my screen, but he still has 2 lives. So I have 900 eco in round 19 with 4 plantations. That is fantastic. And that's due to our lack of defense. We have a 2-3 tack shooter and a 2-3 whiz. So this aggression allowed us to beat Titan farms while significantly having a higher eco. And you have to know the right balance between being aggro and having enough defense. So round 19, I try to layer in something, but it doesn't really work because round 19, I try to layer into leads. I don't know why he boosted there. I didn't think he needed to. So since he boosted, I'm definitely sending him BFB because he's not going to have a boost. And he actually immediately sells for an Apache, which is kind of unlucky for me because usually people just don't get up their Apaches immediately. So we wasted $2.5 thousand and minus 140 eco. So like if I saw that he got up his Apache, I wouldn't have sent a BFB. So I guess that was a good play on his part, but I wouldn't suggest getting up Apache preemptively because like if they don't send you a BFB, then you just kind of wasted money. You want to make sure that your opponent forces up defense. So we've been rocking the same defense for like the past 10 rounds. And look at our farms. We have almost 1,000 eco and we have like double his farms. So that's the power of being aggressive and having no defense. And he has a $20,000 tower. Actually more than that. Yeah, he has about a $20,000 defense. So now this is how you defend. You get up 1 Phoenix and you get up a nicely placed Maelstrom. As you can see with our high eco, I'm just gonna wait till we get the eco boost and then we Maelstrom. I don't need to sell any farms at all. Just sell the Maelstrom, we place it in the corner. And you wanna make sure you place it really snug against the track to get the maximum Maelstrom popping power. And I sell my defense, get up a Dragon's Breath. Round 23, I just get up another tack. And this one is the Maelstrom spot. You want it as close to the edge as possible. The first tack that's further away from the corner, that's better for just raw popping power. But as you can see, I have $4,000 left over when I go for my factory. I hide my farmer and I bait him to send a BFB because you really want to have a lot of money left over when you go for a factory because if they punish you and force you to sell your BIA, you're pretty much dead. So as you're gonna see, I save up a lot of money, get up the same Phoenix. Like we're doing the same defend. Just 1 Phoenix, make sure your the wizard tower is on strong, and you just get up 1 or 2 Maelstroms. 1 Maelstrom there, the second Maelstrom snug against the track, and that's an easy defend. And we go for a 4-2 factory, and he sent 2 BFBs, so that's really draining his part. And his eco wasn't good to begin with, so he probably has close to 0 eco. I have a 4-2 factory with 1,000 eco. He has 4.5 plantations with no eco, so pretty much got this game in the bag. I fast forward this part because now we just farm on. Actually, I do send leads because Apache kind of gets overwhelmed. So I do force an ice. I maybe wanted to force a penny boost or something because he has 2 lives. As you can see, layering leads with around 25 ceramics, it really causes the Apache to struggle. So look at our money, bro. Like we have 1100 eco. Like our defense is so minimal because we just need to keep Maelstromming. At this point, I'm not sure if it's better to get more defense, like permanent defense. Like let's say more fire wizards to stop Maelstromming, but I get to 2 factories, and I think I go for my 4-2. So yeah, at this point, I'm not really sure. I would like an expert to like coach me on this. Is it better to just Maelstrom like the around 22 to 30 ceramics, or is it better to just get up permanent defense? So I make sure to get up 2 4-2 factories before I send a ZMG. I send a slow cooldown just so that I still have enough eco. Like look, I still have 550 eco, which is pretty decent. So now I'm preparing for an all out. I have 2 4-2 factories. He has like no farms. He sells all his farms for a stall, and I think he's about to counter because there's no way he can defend this. He got balloon boost. So I have 2 4-2 factories and 20 grand like just saved up. So now I get up all the defense I need. A couple of phoenixes. What is that, like 5 phoenixes on boost? And Maelstrom placement is key. Look, you want it up against the track, and you want it snug in that little corner because that's going to affect the Maelstroms, the BFBs the most. So look at this. What did he send? A ZMG and like 4 BFBs. Like look at that. That was really nothing. And I have so much money. Like I just sell all my defense because I want to reinvest my Phoenix money into my farms again. So I get up a bunch of Phoenixes and he just dies. So that's the power of aggro attack whiz against Heli. So now this is the start of the second arena. So I always do the same start. I spike at the beginning. If you spike at the beginning, it helps you in every scenario except for if they eco. If they eco, then you're kind of screwed. But even if you're against eco, attack whiz does okay against eco because you can anti-stall well and you can farm enough to send early rushes. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but when you anti-stall, they're not able to get up 2 wired funds, which is perfect because you want the Cobras to have less money. So right now I'm just sending a couple pinks just to force some defense, or so that they have less money to send eco with, because on this map and Cobra, eco is really important. So if they actually get up more Cobra farms, that's better for you because $80 per Cobra per round is really nothing compared to eco, because eco is exponentially increasing in the later game. So round 6, I make sure to send enough to force a burning stuff, which I already did. So right now I'm just going to keep farming. You don't really want to play aggro against Cobra because not really much is going to get by. So you just want to send it barely enough to force defense, and then you just farm on. So he's sending space eco here. As you can see, the stack spot's pretty goated. I just spike a little bit because I don't want to waste money on defense. So as you can see, I'm getting a attack there just in case if he sends more. Regrow rights are expensive and they don't do much. Regrow whites, I can't say that. I don't know why. So I sell that tag to go for my farm because you really need to have an early BIA with the strategy. He sends regrow whites again, but that does nothing. He sends regrow ledge, which might do something, so I make sure to target my wizard onto strong and first, get up a fireball. Round 11, he has plenty of defense. He actually gets up a 2-3 blade shooter without me sending anything, which is perfect. I have 4 plantations by round 12, which is fantastic. He sends a camo rainbow, which is very interesting. I guess it still forced my dragon's breath. So I put my farm in the corner, and oh wait, you guys will see in a future game. But yeah, I have a little farm in the corner. You can't see it. At the end of this round, I'm going to sell all 4 farms for my corner BIA right there. You can't see it, but he knows it's up there. So make sure you get the round 14 BIA and against Cobra, and you'll win. Like, it's okay to boost against round 16 if you really need to, but if you don't, then that'll be better. But if you, with some good targeting, I don't need a boost. So yeah, now I just fast forward. When you go against Cobra, I usually don't like to get up any more farms because you really need defense. So I just let my BIA cooked up. It's giving us a decent eco, 1,000 eco, 1,100 eco by round 25. Now I cash out my BIA. Look at the money we have. I prefer not to boost just so that we have permanent defense. He sends a BFB, which isn't going to do anything, but I still need a Maelstrom it just to be safe. He leads down to 3 lives to the camo AI. So I know that his mortar is going to get overwhelmed because the mortar does have a pierce limit. So if I send space camo pinks, each pink is 5 lives. And he has 3 lives. All I need is 1 camo pink to sneak through. So I send couple of space camo pinks and he dies. So that's kind of big brain strat for me. So now we got this guy. Let's see what we do. We spike the front as we always do. So the reason for that is that if they're going farms, they're not going to get the first banana. And neither are you, so it doesn't really matter because you're planning to be aggro anyway. So it's the same. They're going Cobra as well, so I just skipped the beginning because it's going to be the same as the last game. You really want to greedy farm on. I have a BIA in the top left corner. Round 24, I don't know why I lost all my boosts, but it is what it is. Like, you really need boosts to defend adjustment so that you really try not to cash out your BIA, because when that cooks up, that's going to help you later. So I'd rather trade boosts for a BIA cook up, because think about it like this. If you boost early, you get more money later, and with the more money later, you can over defend, so you don't need your boosts. So as you can see, I cash out my... I want to try not to cash out my BIA because I want to let it cook up, but I really have to because round 25 you don't want to play with, and I have no boosts. If I did have a boost, I probably would have just boosted, but I get up all my phoenixes. And this is kind of like a really intricate play. You see the 4 wizards on the bottom. I make sure to upgrade them from left to right so that when one phoenix runs out, I sell the leftmost one so that the other 3 are still up in the air. Just so like I can maximize the use of the phoenixes. So that, like, let's say I just sold all 4 of them. Like, see, now those 2 are still up. So this is the play where I fucked up because, or I messed up. Because they sold all their Cobras, so I should have just waited to see what they were going to do. To see if they were going to either counter rush me or send a ZMG. But I think this was a better play on my part. He sends fast cooldown most, which is nothing. I think he sold his Cobras because he's going to counter and send me a ZMG, but I'm glad I sent him one because now he's not able to counter me. So that's really good. So that's how you play against Cobra. As you can see, we are undefeated against Cobra, which is really good. I really think that attack farm Wisp is the best strategy on this map. So if I showed the beginning of the games, that means it's going to be a different strat. So now we know how to go against Cobra and Dread. Let's see what this guy goes. So if they don't send me anything, I go for my farm and I send it to 63. That's the right number, yeah. So he's going Dartling, okay. Dartling is probably going to outlast attack farm Wiz late game because he probably has Dartling Ice or Dartling Bomb. So I do want to play aggressive, but after you force the powerful darts, it's pretty hard to force any more defense until like round 6. So I think I forced the faster firing or the powerful darts. So I'm just leaving him to be. Now I'm just going to farm on. And we get up our plantation here and we get up at the same time. So I say nice. Round 6 is coming, so I'm going to try a layer reds into blues into greens to see what his third tower is. As you can see, I don't have much money to force defense, which is really sad. So I failed to force that much defense. He gets him another farm and a bomb. 0-0 bomb is actually really helpful against group bloons. So I'm kind of sad that we weren't able to force that much defense, so I say nice. It's probably because Dread is such a long map. He's sending space blacks. A lot of people get up defense, but I just greed it. So as you can see, those blacks did cause him to force some leaks. But now I'm going to try to send yellows to force a cluster. I don't have much money, so I'm unable to force a cluster, which is, once again, very sad because the bomb is just OP on this map. I try to send again, just to save up a little bit of money to see if he goes for a farm. After he goes for a farm, I'm sending him a big rush. But he does afford a cluster, so that's unfortunate. But we want him to get up defense so that we can try to stall his BIA as much as possible. So I'm trying to send a rush, even though I don't think it's going to do that much. But we force another Dartling, so I can't really force that much defense. Round 12, I have to save enough money for a Dragon's Breath. I don't have enough money, so I have to sell my attack. Because if you don't sell your attack and your wizard causes a regen farm, it's going to be even worse for you if you just don't sell your attack. So I try to send a rush here, but I don't have enough money. I send a couple of zebras followed by blacks. And if the blacks don't get popped by the Dartlings, then the cluster bomb just completely ignores them. So that's why I sent blacks instead of whites this time. He's up by a whole plantation. And I just micro my wizard targeting. I send regen leads because that's really dangerous against a cluster. Because the regen blacks will not be affected by the cluster and they'll just regrow back into leads. So I force a boost, which is nice, but I don't really want to send anything because I would have to spend too much money to force a boost, and in my opinion that just wasn't worth it. So I send the same rush. He actually balloon boosts, which catches me off guard because people usually just shouldn't send against a Moab against Tack, but as you can see, I do struggle there because I'm so focused on being aggressive. I don't have enough money left over to defend. So I think greeting and wasting a boost there instead of selling farms is better. So I try to send some blacks to make them struggle, but it doesn't work. I don't have enough money, so I sell my Tack for BFB. And he only has 2 Republics and 2 Plantations, so he doesn't have much money. He gets up 2 Maulers, and he does boost, which is perfect. He gets him an impact, so he'll be fine. He actually sells his Mauler, so I'm like, okay. But he sends 2 Moabs, which I don't know what he was doing. That's a really bad rush on his part. I think that caused him to choke the game because that wasted $3,000 from him, and he minused about like 50 eco, I think. So that was kind of an expensive rush on his part. So I sent him another BFB because he wasted all that money, and he doesn't have Maulers anymore. So he has to spend a lot of money for defense, and he doesn't have enough Maulers, so I think he's going to boost here. Oh, okay, yeah, he does. The Dartling lag is really annoying. So we forced 2 boosts from him just from BFBs, and look, we're tied in farms now. I think he choked with that double Moab rush. I think if he didn't, he would have been up in farms right now. But as you can see, we have 8k because I don't know why. I should have just went for Republic, but I think I just go for a factory here, yeah. And we still have plenty of money. So like I said, when you go for a factory, you want to have enough money left over. So as you can see, we do. We have 1,000 eco and a Phoenix, so all we need to do is Maelstrom twice. So that's why whenever you go for a factory, you want to make sure that you have enough money. I almost die here because I think he sent some camos in there, or I don't know, because they weren't, like when I usually defend a BFE, it's usually pretty easy. It doesn't get to the end, but now I have a 4-2 factory. He has nothing. I'm just sending spaced eco because it's going late, so yeah, here's the mid game where I'm kind of confused whether I should just keep Maelstroming or just get up a bunch of fire breaths. So I send a ZMG because his farms are absolutely dookie. It kills our eco, but it pretty much forces an all out, which we can defend because we have a 4-2 factory, or it drains him and or kills him. So even though it hurts us a lot, I think it's worth it. So we just Maelstrom a couple of times. And then, wait, I missed it because I had to let my cat out. But yeah, that ZMG killed him. So we're up against Supreme Leader for, right now we're undefeated, which is pretty nice. I mean, I think these players are pretty decent. I think we were just better than them. So do the same start. Start off with attack. I should say spike because tack and tack shooter are pretty similar. I send a 256. And then if he doesn't send me anything, then I send a 263 and get up my farm. So he has Wiz. I'm like, okay. He's probably going Wiz Farm Village or Wiz Farm Ace, so I just want to keep sending Space Blues until the end of the time. Because if you don't send Wizard Spaced, then they will get up a Plantation and then use their spikes at the end to greed. So if you send constant Space Blues, you force them to get up a Lightning early. Therefore, they have no possibility of greeding. And if they don't send you anything, I like to not get up my right side upgrades for the attack, because then you're able to greed. But we're going to need it for round 6 anyway. But like as I said, I don't like getting the right side upgrades because here I could have afforded Plantation if I didn't get the right side upgrades, but he's sending greens. I'm going to need it eventually. But that was a bad play by me. I should have just greeted. He's bloom boosting, so I'm just going to use spikes at the end because we're not leaking that much. We're still at 128 lives, and he bloom boosted at the wrong time. If he bloom boosted in the middle of round 7 after the space greens come out, then it would have done a lot more damage. But I sent space blacks just to force another wizard. It might not seem like a lot, but I'm sending space sets of $60, and it forces a $550 in wizard and then a $200 in fireball. So spending a couple of space blacks forces $750 of defense on his side, which is pretty worth, in my opinion. We're up in farms. I force second lightning by sending regen whites. I'm getting ready to place my wizard, but he doesn't send me anything. So here, round 11, I've been greedy all day. I've been super aggressive. So I'm not really in the mindset to prepare. But I get up a lightning because he sends that. And he balloon boosts, and I'm like really caught off guard because usually a wizard, I never find this rush. And I just die because the balloon boosted pinks overwhelm the whites. And it just really blocked all the wizard targeting. And as you can see, the wizard really struggles to like really grouped balloons, which is what the group pinks were. I don't know what my tack shooter is doing. My tack shooter just did not help anything, but maybe the balloon boost caused the balloons just to like shoot past the tack shooter, so the tack shooter couldn't pop that many balloons. So that was the game that I lost, which I was really surprised against. So I guess I have to be more prepared for round 11 rushes, or at least balloon boosted. The thing is, I just assumed that he was going was village, that he wouldn't be aggressive, so I thought I was safe to greed, but that really cost me the game, obviously. So I thought I would have enough money to greed and like be aggro, but as you can see, it didn't work. So we're up against the Dilster, the big dilly. Go check out his channel, and he's going eco, which is really annoying because games are most definitely going to go late. So he's going boomer, which is a pretty bad late game tower, but if he has 2 late game towers that are good, then he might be able to survive. I go for my 1-0 farm, but I immediately want to go for my 2-3 to anti-stall. He gets up to Bionic Boom already, but I know I can force more defense by sending Space Pinks. And that's $500 less that he has to eco with, because I think it costs $200 and $300 for the left side boomer upgrades respectively. So that's $500 he has less to eco, which is perfect. As you can see, he's chasing, so he gets up that upgrade, but now he's not chasing anymore. But I forced a lot of defense on his side. I placed my Taxer in the first bend to anti-stall, since he's ecoing, so he'll get less money. So it's just really boring. He gets up enough defense because he has boomer, which is really easily greetable. So I can't really send him anything. So I just farm super hard up until I get 2 factories, and then I save up to send him ZMG. But I'm not going to send one yet because he gets up a flash bomb at the top. So I'm like, okay, he's probably going to perma sabo. So I'm going to wait till he perma sabos first. Sabotage lasts for 15 seconds. And ZMGs take 12 seconds to come out. So after they sabo, and if you wait 4 seconds after they sabo to send a ZMG, then it won't be permastalled. So I see he permastalls here. I look at the time, I wait a little bit, and then I send him a ZMG. I look at when I send it on the 5, and it takes 12 seconds. So on the 6, I look at the 1's digit because you don't need to look at the 10's digit. So on the 6, I'm going to balloon boost it. As you can see, the balloons are full speed already. They're not saboed anymore. So I balloon boosted it to make his sabo wear off. As you can see, the ZMG is not perma saboed, so he's going to have to sabo again. Now it's saboed, but he's going to have to buy and resell the sabo. And when you're ecoing, that's causing a lot of money down the drain because you get only 80% of what you get. So here's a big brain play. As you can see, his signal flare is targeted at the first bend, right? So when I said camo leads, all that path from the beginning to the first bend, the camo leads are not getting popped. And with ninjas, the seeking shurikens will seek to the next balloon, right? So if I send space camo leads, as you can see, the shurikens are attacking the space camo leads and they're getting wasted. So look, the shurikens are getting wasted by the camo leads. If the camo leads weren't there, the seeking shurikens would seek back to the ZMGs to get a little bit of extra popping power. But by doing this, I'm making sure that his popping power by his ninjas are being limited, which is, I think, a pretty big brain move on my part. There are so many ceramics. There's around 25 AI. There's so many ceramics from each Moab, from each BFB. I think there's 4 ceramics from each Moab. There's 4 ceramics in a Moab. There's 4 Moabs in a BFB, and there's 4 BFBs in a ZMG. So I think by farming hard with 2 factories and sending a ZMG, we're able to be aggressive without draining ourselves. So we beat Dilly the Ecoer, but he told me he was randomizing, but honestly, that's a really good random strategy. Ninja, Mortar, and Boomer. Boomer allows you to greed early game, and then Ninja Mortar kind of carry you late game. And with the turbocharge ability, it's hard to get drained before ZMGs, but I mean, if we took it late game, I think we would have won just because he wouldn't have that much money to counter. So he would have to sabo and counter, and with our good farms, we maybe would have defended, but I'm not sure. I mean, it didn't end up going late game, so now we're against Zukti Yokuwaiti. I'm showing the different starts because just to show how I play with Tac Farm Wiz against different strats. Like, as you can see, the first Cobra game, or the second Cobra game, I skipped because it's just the same starting. And every other game after that, there's a different start. There's the Dartling Bomb, there was the Eco, now it's the Anti-Stall NG. So with Anti-Stall NG, I want to make his live count as low as possible so that past round 10, he has really a lot of trouble defending space leads because each lead is 23 lives. So a set of space leads is 2 leads, which is 46 lives. So if we get him down low enough, we're going to cause a lot of panic on his side, which is what I want. Not only does this force lives, but also forces a lot of defense. So I sent a lot of yellows to force up defense, and he's 69 lives, nice. He gets up an NG at the top. I sent 3 space leads, and then I'm going to send yellows after because I know he does not have enough money. He has 2 plantations up there, which is way too much. I send yellows because it's cheaper than sending whites, and he actually just dies. So I think getting him low on lives and being super aggressive was able to kill him. Granted, he wasn't that good of a player because he died around 12, but I think that's the same concept against NG players. You want to be aggressive, and your goal of that is to force defense and or force lives and get up your eco. So it really helps you. And NGs, it's like you need like $5,000 something to afford the entire balloon trap, because it costs 38 for the balloon trap upgrade, and then like the cleansing foam and the NG itself and the upgrades before that. So I think you need about $5,000 plus, which is super expensive. All I need is a $550 worth of lead defense, so that's really good for us. We're going the same strat tack Wiz. He's sending regen whites, which is really not a good move because he wastes so much money. Each regen white costs $162, and all I need is like a 2-0 attack at the end so that it stops regrowing. And like if I didn't have that 2-0 attack, it would have just kept regrowing and I would have lost a lot of lives. But since he did this rush, I really got flashbacks from the other guy how I lost. So as you can see, I struggled a lot here, but since I know he spent so much money on those whites, he's not going to have enough money to get up camo regen defense because I'm going the same strategy. I know the struggles. So I'm sending him stuff. I'm going to wait for him to upgrade. He doesn't, so I'm going to send a little bit more, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to send some space to regen whites now because I want to force 2 lightnings or a fire breath. I think a fire breath is way more effective because if you get 2 lightning, that still struggles to camo ceramics, but if you get a dragon's breath, it works fine against camo ceramics. So as you can see, I put my farmer in the corner and I accidentally boost, which is horrible because you don't want to boost and then go for your BIA because they're going to force you to sell. I guess that's kind of karma for me, putting my farm in the corner and always trying to hide it, because then I accidentally click on it twice and I boosted, which is very unfortunate. So I wait till the end of round 15. I usually would have waited till the end of round 14, but I didn't want to get caught without a boost. So round 16, I sell my wizards to get up a dragon's breath. And I think I have to boost here again because this looks really hectic on my screen. I actually had to sell my tag shooter for another dragon's breath because he sent a camo regen ceramic. So the tag shooter wasn't going to do anything against that. So I thumbs down because I accidentally boosted and he took advantage of that. But you know, it's totally my fault. Like, I'm just thumbs downing because I'm mad, but you know, he's totally playing this correctly. He should be taking advantage of my mistakes, which he does. I'm just mad about it because I'm stupid and I boosted by accident. So I think he should have sent a rerush, but as you can see, he only had 1.5 plantations and he sold it. I don't think he knows I have a BIA. I think he just assumes I have no farms, but I have a BIA. I cooked it up to 5k. I definitely had to cash out because I only have 1 more boost left. And because he sold all of his farms, I think he's going for all out. So I just cashed out just to be safe. I get up a bunch of fire breaths. I sell it because I don't have any camo defense. I mean, I don't have enough mouth for a Maelstrom. So I sell all that. I get up defense now, and now he has no farms. So yeah, we still have a BIA cooking up, giving us 80 eco. I don't think he knows that. He's sending a camo lead rush, which does nothing. Round 20, I don't know. I think he sells all of it just to get enough to send a BFB. But as you can see, we have 5k in our arsenal. We have 2 dragon's breaths. I don't think I need to cash it out. Let's see if I do. I do cash it out. I think I cash it out just to be safe because he has no farms and he has no eco. So if I defend this, I pretty much win. And I'd rather cash out my BIA and play it safe, because let's say he sent camo ceramics under that, then I would have had to cash out anyway. So I over defend to guarantee the win on my side. I go up for a Republic because since I cashed out my BIA so many times, it's not really worth it. So round 22 is a quick round. I'm going to cash out, sell my BIA, and get up the factory in round 22 because it's going to give me a lot of money. So I do exactly that. I get up to 4-2, gives me a lot of money. He sends me leads at the end of round. I don't know why he boosts, but you know what? I accidentally boosted, so you know, now we're even. But now I'm going to send him a BFB because he pretty much did the same thing to me. He has no farms. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a BIA in that corner because he spent a lot of money. He has a bunch of tack shooters, but even if he does defend, he's super drained. He gets up a Phoenix. I say nice because I have a 4-2 factory and 10k. Just chilling. I have 700 eco, which is pretty decent. he sells everything to Maelstrom, so I sent him a bunch of camo ceramics because even if he does defend this, he doesn't have that much money to defend because now his Phoenixes are going to be chasing because the ceramics are already too far down the screen. And he dies. That's a GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed this post commentary. Sorry it's out so late, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys do, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. No money's cashing out. Peace.